Welcome back to Go With Us, and this is everything you really need to know this week in Pokemon Go, running from February the 9th all the way until the 16th. Let's get straight into our calendar, and very quickly, we're going to kick off with our Research Breakthrough box. This is going to be to do with your 7-day stamps completing field research. Once you complete your 7th day stamp, you will unlock a Research Breakthrough box, and the following Pokemon will be rewarded. We can get Lapras in there at 100% CP of 1131, that can be shiny. We see Galarian Mr. Mime in there at 886 CP. We also see Snorlax in there at a guaranteed hundo of 1382. Dreepy's in there at 328. Honedge is in there at 595. Bear in mind, Honedge Shiny will be released during the Kalos tour, but it won't be released yet. And last but not least, we can see Sinistea in there at a 488 CP. Bear in mind that Sinistea could be the antique form Sinistea. You will be able to see by the silhouette if it's going to cost you 400 candy per evolution. That means you do have the antique form. If you have the phony form, your evolution will only cost 50 candy. And remember, you can appraise this with your team leader to tell you if it is the phony form or not as well. Let's move into our 5-star raids, which are going to be happening this week. And it looks like Palkia and Dialga will be in raids all the way until the 16th. But let's just focus on Dialga very quickly and see how good are these Pokemon in Pokemon Go right now. It has a max CP of 4565, an attack of 275, defense 211, and stamina of 205. With Megas and Shadows on this list as well, it is currently still the 13th best steel type attacker in the game with Metal Claw and Iron Head. On the Dragon side of things, it's a little bit weaker with Dragon Breath and Draco Meteor. It's currently ranked around the 30th spot, but it's actually in the Master League, where in my opinion this Pokemon really shines very well. It's currently hovering around the 30th spot right now. Of course, to max out this Pokemon, you will need a hell of a lot of candy as well as XL candy, and it's a pretty expensive power-up. I still think Dialga can serve you very well. Please consider that the shiny raid coming from these 5-star raids is going to be 1 in 20. Let's have a look at Palkia now, our other 5-star raid boss. We can see that the max CP is 4512 CP, an attack value of 280, defense of 215, and a stamina of 189. As a water type attacker, it's currently hovering around the 39th spot, but again, that's with Megas as well as Shadows, so it's probably going to be a little bit further up the list. But as a dragon type attacker, it performs a lot better with Dragon Tail and Draco Meteor, currently ranked 23rd right now as a dragon type attacker, but it's also in the Master League where this Pokemon shines best. It's currently around the 25th spot. You're going to want Dragon Breath, Aqua Tail, and Fire Blast. None of these moves are legacy moves either, so it's a really good time to try and get this Pokemon for the Master League. But let me just say, remember that the Road to Kalos tour is around the corner. We need to get the candy for Dialga and Palkia for the origin forms that are going to be coming during that Road to Kalos week, because the raids are coming with special backgrounds as well. This is why I believe they've placed these Pokemon back in raids, so we can start getting the candy and XL candy to prepare for those Pokemon coming during the Go tour. If you guys want to know the 100% IV coming from these raids for Palkia and non-weather boosted weather, that hundo CP is going to be 2280 CP, but the weather boosted 100% IV is going to be 2850 CP, and that's going to be in rainy or windy weather because of its dragon and water typing. The guaranteed hundo CPs for Dialga is going to be 2307 and non-weather boosted weather, but the weather boosted 100% IV is going to be 2884 CP, and that's going to be in snowy and windy weather because of its dragon and steel typing. Moving on now to our 5-star Shadow Raid boss for the entire month of February, which is going to be Shadow Regigigas coming back into rotation. Shadow Regigigas is an extremely strong Pokemon. If we have a look at its base stats, it has a max CP of 4913, which is huge, an attack of 287, a defense of 210, and a stamina of 221. Off the bat, this Pokemon is looking amazing. It only has one weakness, which is going to be fighting, but it also resists only one thing, which is going to be Ghost because of the normal typing. The very interesting thing about Shadow Regigigas is that because its attack value is so high, especially as a Shadow Pokemon, remember that Shadow Pokemon get a 20% increase on their attack, but a 20% decrease on their defense. So when it comes to its moveset, it only knows very hard-hitting moves. It knows things like Giga Impact, Frustration, of course, because it will be a Shadow, as well as Crush Grip, which will require an Elite Charge TM, but the other moves that it knows is going to be Thunder and Focus Blast. So technically you can use this Pokemon as an electric type attacker or as a fighting type attacker, because again, its DPS is just so incredibly high because of that Shadow boost. The 100% IVs for Shadow Regigigas coming from these raids is going to be 2483 in non-weather boosted weather. Because of its normal typing in partly cloudy weather, that hundo CP is going to be 3104. Please remember that when you take down a 5-star Shadow Raid boss, you are going to need purified gems. Remember, you need 4 shards to make 1 purified gem. You can get shards by defeating Rocket Grunts, defeating Giovanni, shiny, and of course completing other shadow raids to eventually form purified gems. You need 8 purified gems to take away the enraged state, which pops up at around 60% of its health, and once those 8 gems have gone in, it will lose its enraged state, and then the boss will become a lot easier to complete. Please remember that and party up as well to make this whole battle a lot easier, because it doubles your damage whenever you do raid with a party of friends. But what are going to be the mega raids this week? And it looks like Mega Pidgeot will still be in rotation all the way until the 16th as well, and then everything will leave. But Mega Pidgeot right now is a great Pokemon to go after because its Mega form is a normal and flying type Pokemon. It's a great opportunity to try and get that Pokemon at Mega level 3, but you can gather the candy as well as the XL candy for the normal and flying typing whenever certain events come around. But also the other thing with Mega Pidgeot is that it's currently the 9th best flying type attacker in the game right now. It's a very useful Mega to have around, and of course it is one of the first released, so if you don't go after it this time, we're probably not going to see Mega Pidgeot in some time. Those are the raids out of the way, but let's get back to our calendar. And remember, every Monday morning at 9 a.m. our Adventure Sync rewards will kick in, and please bear in mind, once you reach the 25-kilometer mark or the 50-kilometer mark, you will get access to a 5-kilometer Adventure Sync egg, and if you do reach the 50-kilometer mark, you will get access to a 10-kilometer Adventure Sync egg. You need to have 2 egg slots open if you do want to receive both, and hatching from that 5-kilometer Adventure Sync egg is going to be Riolu, Bonsly, Turtoga, Skarmory, and Archen. Undoubtedly, the best 2 there are going to be Riolu. That 100% hatch CP is going to be 567, and on Skarmory's side, the 100% CP is going to be 1204. Both of these Pokemon have Megas. As we know, Mega Lucario is already in the game. It's currently the best fighting type attacker in the game, but more importantly, Mega Lucario Z will be coming to the game at some point, but also Mega Skarmory, which apparently takes on an incredibly high attack stat, so when it does come, probably will be one of the best steel as well as flying type attackers, because remember, it does share both of those types. Try and hatch those Pokemon, and the Pokemon hatching from the 10-kilometer Adventure Sync eggs are going to be Dreepy, Beldum, Drampaw, Turtonator, and Gibble. Mega Metagross right now is one of the best steel as well as psychic type attackers in the game right now, one of the best Megas in the game, as well as Gibble being, I believe, the 2nd best ground type attacker in the game, as well as in the top 3 dragon type attackers in the game, because it shares both typings. These are Pokemon you definitely want to get hundos for, but even still, we know that Mega Garchomp Z looks like it will be coming to the game at some point, as well as Mega Drampaw. So these are Pokemon you want to get hundos for those future Megas. Let's get back to our calendar again, and as we can see on the calendar, that's not the only thing going down on Monday, because remember, every Monday from 6 to 7 p.m. local time, a Max Monday will be featuring another Pokemon, and this time it is going to be the debut of Dynamax Growlithe coming into the game, which of course is going to produce Dynamax Arcanine. Dynamax Arcanine will be a pretty decent utility option, especially if you are a newer player. I believe its attack stat is currently in the 220s, which is a pretty solid option. It's not going to be your best fire type attacker. It may not even break into the top 5, but that's not the point. The reason why is, let's have a look at its fast moves. It has access to Fire Fang, Snarl, and Thunder Fang, so technically you could use this Pokemon as a different type of attacker for 3 different types, but more importantly, if you use an elite fast TM on this Pokemon, you will get access to the move Bite. The reason why Bite is so good as a dark type move is that it is a half a second fast move, which means it's going to charge the Dynamax meter a lot quicker. So in certain scenarios for newer players, this Pokemon could really come in handy because of that Bite. Then let's get back to our calendar again, and on Tuesday, the 10th of February, we have our first event of the week, which is going to be the Valentine's Day event, running all the way until the 15th at 8 p.m. local time. The event bonuses there is that it's going to be 2 times XP for catching Pokemon. We're also going to get 2 times Stardust for opening gifts, an increased chance to encounter Shiny Nidoran female as well as Shiny Nidoran male. We can also get an increased chance to hatch Shiny Nidoran female as well as Shiny Nidoran male, including Shiny Cherubi too. Spawning in the wild, we can see Nidoran female, Nidoran male, Furfrou, and we're also going to get rare response for Audino. Please bear in mind, Audino, if you weren't aware, is the highest yielding Stardust Pokemon in the entire game, yielding 2,100 Stardust per catch. If you use a star piece there, it's 3,150 Stardust per catch. If you find that it's partly cloudy weather outside and this Pokemon is weather boosted and it's spawning more frequently than you may think, please throw in a star piece. Getting over 3,000 Stardust per catch, guys, is incredibly powerful, nothing to scoff at. We have 7-kilometer eggs going down, which is going to be Nidoran female, Nidoran male, both coming with a shiny boost. We have Cleffa, Igglybuff, Cherubi, of course, coming with that shiny boost as well, and Happiny. We mentioned that Furfrou is going to be in the wild. Please do not forget to get the heart trim of Furfrou, which is only available during Valentine's Day events every single year, and then that option does eventually disappear once the event is over. But to get the heart trim, you are going to need 25 Furfrou candy as well as 10,000 Stardust. Just find the Furfrou you want to change in your bag storage, tap to check its summary, and then click change form, and the heart trim should be available to you, and once you change it, it will stay there forever unless you change it back. If you weren't aware as well, there are currently about 10 trims of Furfrou in the game currently, so pick wisely whatever trim you want, but remember to get the heart trim. There is going to be a global collection challenge where all trainers are going to have to send gifts to friends, and once we complete that, we will unlock more bonuses. The first one being a free timed research, awarding us encounters with Spinda with a heart pattern that could potentially be shiny as well. This is something they haven't introduced into the game maybe ever before. Normally, Spinda has 9 different patterns in Pokemon Go. We're currently in the month of February. I believe pattern number 6 and 7 are available through other field research, not connected to this event, but it looks like this Spinda will have a different heart pattern. The third bonus, which is huge, is that successfully catching a Pokemon with a curveball throw is going to grant us another 750 XP. So let's just talk about how to maximize these bonuses very quickly. Firstly, starting with that XP bonus. As we said, it's going to be 2 times XP. So every single excellent throw we hit on this event is going to be 2,000 XP. With a lucky egg running, it's going to be at least 4,000 XP. But because of the curveball throw bonus, that's another 750 XP, which could be doubled with a lucky egg as well. So we're talking around at least 5,500 XP per catch for a total of 5 days, every single excellent throw. Guys, trust me, if you're looking for XP and you're trying to get to that level 80 and grinding, this is a great event for XP, especially once that global challenge has been completed. Please remember as well that it's going to be 2 times Stardust for opening gifts. Normally, opening a gift grants you between 50 and 300 Stardust as an absolute max, but with the star piece running, with the 2 times bonus running, guys, every single day, if you opened 30-40 gifts, we're talking around just under 20,000 Stardust per day. That is nothing to scoff at, especially for a total of 5 days if you open all those gifts. There will be featured 3-star raids going down, which is going to be featuring Gallade and Gardevoir. The interesting thing about these raids as well is that both of these Pokemon being caught from these raids will know their legacy move, which is going to be Synchronoise, the Psychic type move. Unfortunately, as a Psychic type move, Psychic on both of these Pokemon is the preferred option, especially if you're using something like a Mega Gardevoir or a Mega Gallade. Psychic is going to be the preferred moveset, but if you did want it as a collector's item, maybe going after that shiny with that move as well, this could be something to go after. What we've actually done for you guys is release a full Valentine's Day video on its own, so you can check out the full breakdown, all the details, how to maximize the bonuses, but also which target Pokemon you should be going after, because there are some hidden ones in there that can have really good use for you. But let's get back to our calendar again, and that's not the only thing going on Tuesday, because as we know, every single Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. local time, it will be a spotlight hour featuring a certain Pokemon, and this week it's going to be featuring Munna with a special bonus of 2 times catch XP. Unfortunately, I was hoping for something a little bit different because the 2 times catch XP bonus will already be live with the Valentine's Day event, but the good news about Munna is that its shiny is pretty sick. Masharna, unfortunately, isn't the most meta-relevant Pokemon. It's not great in the Gold Battle League, and as a Psychic-type attacker, I don't even think it's breaking into the top 100 Psychic-type attackers, but the key here is the excellent throw on Munna, which I believe is very easy to get. Pop 2 lucky eggs in that hour, and like we said, with that other bonus running as well, if the global challenge is completed in time, you could be getting around 5,500 XP per catch. Trust me, in 1 hour, that is going to be hundreds of thousands of XP. Valentine's Day will be carrying us throughout the week, but if we look at our calendar again, moving on to Wednesday, which is going to be the 11th, the only thing we need to really worry about there is going to be the raid hour again, featuring Palkia and Dialga. Please consider Mega Evolving a Dragon-type Pokemon in the background at Mega Level 3 so you can accumulate the candy, but more specifically the XL candy, because you may want to power these base forms up to level 50 or level 51, but it's the origin forms that are actually even better than these two, and they will be coming in the next 2 weeks, so it's a great opportunity, again, to get the candy and XL candy so you don't have to worry about it when those origin forms come around again. If we glance at our calendar again, as we said, Valentine's Day will be carrying us through the weekend, but on the 14th and 15th, we have 2 very special events. on Valentine's Day, we will get a Raid Day and the debut of Therian Forme Enamorus coming to the game for the very first time. Therian Forme Enamorus actually has some pretty decent stats. It has a max CP of 3830, an attack value of 250, a defense of 201, and a stamina of 179. Enamorus is a flying and fairy type Pokemon, which means it has 5 different weaknesses, which is going to be electric, ice, poison, rock, and steel. Its fast moves are going to be Zen Headbutt, Astonish, and Fairy Wind, and its charge moves will be Dazzling Gleam, Grass Knot, and Fly. If you guys weren't aware, if you look at something like Landorus, Tornadus, as well as Thundurus, the Therian forms of those Pokemon are a lot better because they do come with their own legacy moves. But in Enamorous' case, Therian Forme Enamorous' stats are actually technically worse because its incarnate form actually has a higher attack stat. So it's the one form where the incarnate form is technically better as a raid attacker. So as a fairy or flying type attacker, it's not going to be as good and it still will be outclassed. But again, we all need it for our dex entry. The event bonuses is that we can receive up to 5 free additional raid passes from spinning gyms, or if you didn't do a raid the day before or the morning of, you could get a total of 7 raids. We are going to get an increased chance to encounter shiny Love Disc as well as shiny Furfrou coming from 1-star raids, which is pretty sick. The remote raid limit will be increased from 20 on Friday, February the 13th, all the way until Saturday, February the 14th, 4 p.m. at PST time. It's important to mention now to try and get to level 75 on your Go Pass, which means you will get more rewards coming from these 5-star raids. And believe me, especially something like Rare Candy, we've seen this bonus stack really hard. So try and get to level 75. And if you did want to take this experience to the next level to get more free raid passes, you could upgrade for a total of $5 and you can get an additional 8 free raid passes for spinning gym discs, increased chance to get rare XL candy from these raids, 50% more XP, as well as 2 times the Stardust coming from these raid battles. Please consider buying this ticket from the web store as well, because you will be able to progress with those Go points through the web store track to claim some really good premium items. But on top of that, if you did buy this ticket through the web store, you will get a premium battle pass at no cost. In fact, in doing some quick research, guys, Therian Forme Enamorus is actually underrated. As a fairy type attacker, it will be breaking into the top 10 currently, and as a flying type attacker, it will be breaking into the top 20 as well. So this Pokemon is definitely worth raiding, especially with those free raid passes. Valentine's Day weekend will be starting off with a bang, as you can see. But it's certainly going to end off with a bang as well, because on Sunday the 15th, if we look at our calendar again, we will get the debut of Gmax Meowth for its own max battle day from 2 to 5 p.m. local time on Sunday, February the 15th. Of course, every single Meowth you catch from these Gmax battles will not be able to evolve into Persian. It can be shiny as well. Normally, the shiny rates on these days is about 1 in 20, but I actually think it's a little bit higher in my opinion. The event bonuses is that the max particle collection limit will be increased to 1600. All power spots will be featuring Gmax Meowth, and they will refresh every 30 minutes. It's going to be 8 times max particles when we collect particles from power spots. We can do up to 4 special trades for the day, which is technically going to be 6 special trades on this day because we're in the middle of the Precious Path season right now, and every single day we are going to be able to make 2 special trades per day. I'm going to stop right here. Guys, remember to trade your Pokemon. The fact that we get 6 special trades in connection with this event, I think is super sick. We've seen some incredible results. We're going to leave them on screen right now. Please trade your Pokemon. This is how the pros get their hundos and their shundos. They don't just raid all day, they trade their Pokemon a lot. Also, the remote raid limit for this event will be increased from 10 until 20 as well, and that's going to be from February the 14th at 4 p.m. all the way to February the 15th at 8 p.m. and that's going to be PST time. A timed research will actually go live right at the beginning of the week as well, which is going to be featuring rewards such as an encounter with Dynamax Machop, including max particles as well as candy for Machop. And just like it was for Enamorous Raid Day, there will be a Raid Day event ticket for a total cost of $5 again, and we will get timed research, which is going to include 1 max mushroom, 25,000 XP, as well as 6,400 max particles, including 2 times XP for completing these max battles. It's important to mention that this day could be huge for you in terms of rewards. Unfortunately, the Pokemon we're raiding, Gmax Meowth, is probably going to be the easiest Gmax Pokemon we've had to date because its stats are incredibly low. The other thing is that Gmax Meowth is a pure normal type Pokemon, which means we need to bring along things like our Gmax Machamp, D-Max Machamps, any fighting type to really do as much damage as possible, because that's what's going to do super effective damage against Gmax Meowth. But again, It's not necessarily about the Pokemon on this day. It's definitely about the 6 special trades that we can do. We've just explained that already, but also it's the rewards in terms of XP and Stardust. I'm going to leave the Valentine's video right above me right now. Please check that out. Trust me, there are going to be a few things you want to be picking up in that video, which is really going to help you and guide you to have the best Valentine's Day event possible. Please smash that like, subscribe, but more importantly, that hype button as well. We can't grow without your support, and the channel, especially in the last 2-3 months, is growing, and we just want to say during the month of love, we really appreciate your support. Love you guys. Go with us, and we'll catch you in the next one, baby.